It's lunchtime, and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from Studio A in the heart of Delray Gallery, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, a movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free at 888-565-1470 right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
And welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe. We are a little late because we are doing dual productions.
I don't know. You know, you've got Teddy not only running dual productions, you got her on her phone, making deals, cutting deals, training new producers. Teddy, can we clone you?
And this too can be you.
Mm-hmm.
Teddy's doing, now she's doing the dual because I need her to run over to the other studio. What's
Here's
the
the
matter?
funny thing. Because we've got 6 producers.
Move over, that way.
We've got 6 producers in one studio, and you've got Teddy in here.
Yeah.
But you've got Teddy running our set and the one that has the other 6 producers.
So what's your problem?
I got no problem. And you took my other guest, too. You have her sitting in the Fuego studio.
We are currently doing 2 productions. We got Fuego over in Studio B, and then we're doing the Brooklyn Cafe here because I want to prove that this logic works. I got sex on the air, I got investment on the air, I got new interns on the air, I got you on the air, I got Sandra here, I got my man Steve on the way here, I got people working in the theater here, putting up strips and everything
We've got
else.
Frank covering our cable. I've got Wilson sitting next to me. I like that, Wilson. Did you ever get anything embroidered with your name on it?
Yes, Wilson. The trick is to change my name.
You've got
Wilson!
other stores.
Wilson!
Anything that says the Brooklyn Cafe.
No.
You never did anything that says Freddie. You do that one from the Are You Ready shirt. Says Freddie.
How much coffee did you have?
I don't know. What did you put in my coffee?
Let me ask you a question.
What?
Am I good with names?
Terrible.
Now we have a new girl in here.
She's going to be running
What
the
the
board
hell's
now.
her name?
Taryn.
What?
Taryn.
Taryn. Taryn? Never
Say that
gonna-
20 times.
Never gonna happen.
Taryn.
Oh, how you doing? Come
And the
on
Single
over.
Brothers are in the house.
Come on over. Sit over here.
We started this as a Travel Thursday. We've got Destination
around that
Wedding
way.
Travel
Where
Thursday.
are you walking? Where you walking
We've
to the
got
bathroom?
Bobby coming today. We've got a new travel destination wedding planner coming today.
Yeah, just stand
But
up a second, let him
instead,
by.
You bring me the Siegel Brothers.
Yes.
We've got Cortez and David. I think David ran away.
Indeed. Yes, he ran for the hills.
He ran for the hills. We've got all kinds of things happening.
You told me. I'm gonna tell you what she told me. We don't have no guests
I
today.
told you Tuesday we were pretty good.
So now I have 2 studios full of guests. I got more over there. So you guys, because he's got to go do an appointment. So we're gonna talk a little bit, and they have something in common. I want to bring that up as well.
Really?
Yes. But before we go there,
Sounds crazy.
before we go, it's not. This is the most sane thing you've ever done in your
What
life.
you would do without Dawn.
I don't know
would
what he
die.
did.
I would run.
She's the balance. She's
Here's
the
the thing we
balance.
do.
yes.
I open the blinds, he closes them. Every studio I walk into, I open them up, and I come back in, and you close them. This one too, the poinsettias? I'm the Jewish girl, say it.
The poinsettia.
See that too. You need light. I open the blinds, you close it. I don't even know.
Hey,
You turn down the air conditioning, he turns it up.
Right.
I turn
You're
it off.
Like you're an old married couple.
Totally.
Now I'm
That's
gonna
what
tell you another
everybody
thing she
says.
does. She leaves the freaking bathroom door open after she uses it.
Oh.
I knew you were coming. I knew you were coming.
Better
No.
than leaving it open.
So
Why
I
would she?
have
Why
a
can't you
black.
leave the door
I have
open?
a black and blue on my hip because there's only one way in and out of that thing, and I walk by from the kitchen and I got a black and blue on my hip. I said, Can you please close the freaking door?
We close
Or-
the door.
Watch,
Look up
watch
while
where
you're
you're
walking.
Or
You want
Turn
some-
off the
You want
lights.
a boat with those oars?
nobody turns off the light. What is
Or-
it with people
I'm gonna
nowadays?
get you an oar.
Nowadays.
Nowadays,
paddle
nobody
boat.
turns off the lights.
Oh, wow.
And this place has 1,000,000 light bulbs. You know what the FPL is going to be? You got to turn off the lights.
I know, the bill's
Well,
gonna
back
be
in the
something
day
like that.
when people had to blow out the flame, it was more of a hazard.
I'm ready to
Now
go
we have
with candles.
electric light.
Yes.
What's up, Dave? Nope.
Nope.
Wrong producer. You got people. You got people running from room to room. His name's not even Dave. His name is Glenn. And yes, Barbara, we love your granddaughter too. Teddy rocks. Glenn's coming this way. Do you believe what's going on here?
That's Glenn.
We've had everyone running the show. Our phone lines are open. Give us a call, 888-994-4995.
The phone lines are not open.
Say hi to Jive. Tell Jive.
It is not open.
It is in my mind.
No, because in that phone you
know.
can't bring it. So don't say that.
But
People
I
are
want
going
them
to call.
and then say we can't get through, and then they'll write us a
Que
message.
jodienda.
Oh,
Okay.
que
So
jodienda.
everybody just call Freddie on his personal cell phone.
347-245-6012. I dare you.
Give us a
Wow.
call.
I dare you.
Wow. There it is.
That was awful
And you've got the Siegel brothers. You guys are moving to Friday nights.
Yes, we are.
I am
very
very
excited
excited about that. And we're moving to Saturday nights,
Oh,
Even
nice.
cooler.
right? We're going to be Saturday nights, 8 to 10 on the 3 stations. So we have the option to run a rerun of one of our shows, to do best, greatest of the week, or do networking events and do them right here from the warehouse and put them live from 8 to 10. So the nighttime venue, the after hours venue is amazing.
Wow.
They
No.
used to be on Monday nights at 9,
That's right,
correct?
Monday nights, 9
That's right. I had a run at the
Now
station.
we're going till Friday nights
Yes.
at 7 p.m.
Which were interesting to see. It's interesting to see the change in demographics because people are just coming home and things of that nature. I want to see, because they have this great show.
Well, Sex Talk with the Siegel brothers Friday night
Let's
going
talk
into the
about sex.
weekend.
Let's talk about sex.
Not a
And
bad
they
idea.
and
Right?
they send out all these
Yeah.
things. And the weekend, you're percolating.
That's right.
You know what it means to percolate?
on the weekends,
No,
I'm
go
asleep.
more in depth.
That's
Tell
a
us more
favorite
about
sex
percolating.
What's the,
word.
the percolating?
Percolate. We want to percolate
Off
desire.
off the air, we'll talk
Really?
about it.
Percolate desire.
You got to percolate.
That's
It's like
an
it's
after-hour
like the
show.
it's like the coffee from Don Pablo. You gotta
Brew,
percolate.
simmer, slowly build.
That's right. You got to make it so that you get nothing.
The sexy thing we
Oh.
used to do in our 20s that you don't do after being married for 30-something years. That thing. The
Well,
percolate.
you
don't-
know, it's like
wait.
if you're making sauce or gravy for the Sicilians, right? You don't want to boil it. You want to low simmer
Simmer
all
it.
day and let it fill the house.
I'm sorry. How long have you been married?
I got to ask him a question
How long
though.
have I been divorced
Can I go?
today?
Can I go there? Can guys actually percolate and low simmer, or
Yeah.
Yes.
can they? Is that really? Does it exist?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
gotta
you know
be-
how you do it?
Heart
Make a
heart
date for
attack.
Tuesday night. I guarantee you Tuesday morning he's going to wake up starting to percolate.
I don't know what he said, but I agree.
You think guys can percolate? Percolate? I don't think.
Of course,
I
guys.
cannot confirm or
I don't
deny
think.
those
I don't think
allegations.
guys can.
The best
Can we
radio
talk about
voice.
this midday?
What do you want to talk
I
about?
don't-
You don't think guys can
I'm gonna
percolate?
put you on. Do we have any mics left here?
No.
I'd be
This
putting
one's
Karen on a
available.
mic.
This one's available.
Yes, guys can percolate just like women. It's all the
I
same
don't
stuff.
think. I don't think men can. I
They
need Sandra in
absolutely
here.
can. And I think what you're really speaking to is there's a big difference between how
Is
we
my
can
turn?
act, what we can
Is my
do,
turn?
And what we do.
actually do.
There you go.
Right?
I like that.
There's a script that men tend to operate from that's very different
True.
than their biology.
That's true.
Do you know that men say they run the house when they really run around it? And do you know my father said to me, all women are born to read a book. So I said, Dad, can I read the book? He says, no, you're not a woman. All women read the same book. They all have that whole thing working.
Did he tell you what book that was?
Yes, he says it was called the Book of Mystery. My father was very colorful.
He was.
La libreta de misterio, he used to call it. I says, what does that mean? He says, nobody knows.
We don't seem to find a copy either. except-
No, there is no copy. But
guys.
you ever notice women always have a similar tendencies. When I coached football, it was about tendencies. Women have a similar tendency.
Everyone has tendencies.
Yes, and women's tendencies to drive men nuts.
No, our tendency
No, that is their
to
job.
percolate, right?
That's their job.
Everyone wants the desire. You want to know that you can just touch without having to have sex all the time. But I don't think men can do that. They
No,
can, but
men-
they
Difficult
don't.
for a lot of
Most men
Right?
don't know that. Most men don't think about that. But
what?
actually, and I don't even want to say most men because I don't even think that's true. Many men don't think that way, but we're all absolutely capable of that.
But I want to say, all Americans in particular, men and women,
Ah, yes.
Americans.
have a really hard
Yeah.
time with the concept of non-sexual intimate touch. People in
Right.
Europe and Latin countries have a much easier, much clearer understanding. that
Non-sexual
you can have intimate
touch?
touch that's not sexual.
Right.
That's true. Like
Americans
holding
brain
hands,
cramps over
hitting
that.
each other with a hammer.
Kissing, hugging. Most got that complaint. I hear that a lot from women. They're watching television. They just want to reach over and rub their shoulder, and he thinks it's sexy
It's time to go.
Right. And any touch is perceived
Right.
as sexual touch or an
Sure.
invitation. And so a lot of people just, I'm not touching anymore.
Right.
I'm just going to stay on my side of the couch because you know what? I just really want to say hello.
Right, exactly.
More than a
Or
hello.
share affection.
Right.
That
Right.
doesn't necessarily have to run to the bedroom every
Right.
time.
And to add on to that too, that especially American guys don't realize that our body cycles. We have physiological cycles. There are things that happen that have no bearing on what we think is intention. The vast majority by far of erections that men get have nothing to do with, quote, sex. Yet for many guys, that programming is, if I get an erection, I'm supposed to have sex. And don't think of it as the way the body just normally works. You get an erection, so what? It doesn't mean anything.
True that.
So there's that imperative. And I'm glad you pointed that out, because this really is a uniquely American thing. We have an obsession and an ignorance when it comes to sex and sexuality, that intimacy is a casualty of, I think, that ignorance and obsession, right? Because it's about a specific behavior. It's about doing something. It's intercourse focused. So intimacy as a process is not something a lot of American guys have sort of in their just slate of how to think.
Now these two guys are brothers, so they do this show. They do this show, and I hear this, and I get to do the voice. I get to see what people write in, people call in, all sorts of stuff is going on.
Wow.
And I have this gentleman here also who's in the financial service business, and we were talking about you guys today because sometimes finances is what really drives. I'm going to talk about men. I'm not going to talk about women because then you get mad at me. Talk about men. It drives their lack of sexual desire. It isn't that they don't find people, their spouses or whatever, sexual. Maybe they do. Bing, boing, or not. Doesn't make a difference. But sometimes finances create all of this pressure and you can't perform.
Well, the two biggest fights you have,
Here it comes.
and I tell you this all the time, the two things people fight about are sex and money.
and it's not in that order,
And
though.
politics.
It depends what
There's a
it
couple
is.
others.
Right.
Yeah,
But you can
Right.
sort of get around in-laws, you can sort of get around but the intimacy fighting, the things that will stop intimacy is never fighting about the in-laws, at least not for very long.
Right.
It's going to be sex and money, because
Right.
if there's not enough money coming in, then that totally kills that whole thing. And then that leads to the lack of intimacy, at least that whole kind of intimacy. And then you don't want to have affection because you're fighting over money. And then you fight because there's no sex and there's no money.
Right.
And one thing just goes to the next, and I've been telling you that for years. I don't know if guys believe that, but at least I think.
No, we can't argue with that.
No,
but you
absolutely.
Know what? We have our own Libra de Mysterio.
See, this is how he goes, sex and money.
Because
You hear what he said?
We get handed this script, and it's all mysterious. People, I'm sure there are people listening who think 12:20 is no time to be talking about sex. But I'm sure there's someone's having sex right now. And
Maybe
having
one or
sex
two people in the
without
world.
talking
Or you're
about
building
it.
up the percolating for the weekend, is all I can say.
Perhaps, or tonight, or, right?
Segue.
But, you know, no, I don't want to segue. I want to continue on this.
No.
this theme.
I was saying that is the same.
Because you're both, I think you're both absolutely right. And here's another.
How the hell can we both be right?
Because here's another
He's
sexist
a
double
therapist.
standard for you.
Is there?
We accept without a problem that women might not orgasm every time they have sex. For guys, it's 100% or catastrophe.
Right.
Yes.
Where did that come from?
Yeah, what,
So
where
we
did
wonder
that
why
come
guys
from?
are so performance fixated and stressed, like money stress or family stress or stress over an unsatisfied partner. All of that leads to...
So let me get this right. If a man doesn't have an orgasm, it says, okay, honey, thank you very much. It was great. Bye-bye.
No, it's a whole
No, it's not a matter of, well, you know what, it
No.
doesn't matter that I didn't. It felt really great. This
No,
was a
I'm
wonderful
saying, thank you,
experience.
thank you,
No,
thank you.
there's something wrong.
No. If you
But
didn't,
who's saying
you're
there's
not
something
attracted
wrong?
to
Is
me.
it the man or the woman?
No, the partners usually.
But is
Well,
it the
both.
woman or the man involved?
Both.
Who's the one that's like, but if
Well,
the guy
man-
tells you
man
I'm
feels
good,
like
I'm
a
good.
failure. The
Man
man
feels
feels
like
like
a
a failure, and the
Really?
partner feels like the man's not attracted to him or her enough. Otherwise, that wouldn't happen.
Right. Older
So-
guys are more likely to say, you know what, I'm good.
I'm
I don't
old.
really
I'm-
need that.
I'm old. It
It's
doesn't
okay."
work the same way.
Right? And it's all right, but oftentimes it is, again,
But I
part
think
of that
there's
script. The
slippery-
partner
there's
thinks,
that
well, what did I
slippery
do
scale,
wrong?
Though, of men that used to perform all the time like clockwork, easy, and then as you move into the older guy, whatever that age is, that you can't all the time, and then this whole mindset and the male ego that changes everything also.
Because that
male
doesn't
ego
make
is
the
greater than
transition.
woman's ego. No, it doesn't.
That doesn't come along with that transition to
Right.
older age.
Ego
They have a
doesn't.
lot of guys in their 50s, 60s, 70s that are still comparing themselves to themselves in their 20s and 30s.
That
Yeah.
makes a lot of
All right,
sense.
so how do you back out of this thing gracefully? I mean, you feel like a reject for the whole day? I mean, what do you do?
Well, I mean, this is where acceptance comes in. You know, we have to understand that things change. Change doesn't necessarily mean bad. If my body doesn't respond the way it did in my 20s, that doesn't mean anything's wrong. There's a new normal. And that's a framing that, you know, we often kind of
There
take
it
a look
is.
at. You have to establish a new normal. And let's make whatever accommodations need to be made, get the ego out of it, realize that we're not 20, we're not swinging from chandeliers anymore, we're not,
Speak
sort
for
of
yourself.
1 minute Timmy, where
Larry had
we
a very
may get
colorful
an
past.
erection whenever we want it, probably don't know what to do with
Okay,
it.
but that's on a personal level. Are you saying that you should tell your partner this information as well?
Yes,
Share it?
absolutely.
So communication becomes
Absolutely.
a
Communication.
More
Yeah.
intimate. People being able to talk about what they like and what's going on, or everybody being in their head going, "Oh my God, what's it? What? Don't do that again." Or, right? When people are in their
Man,
head, they
you
can't
make
be
sex
in
sound
that
scary.
space.
But it's
They can't
built
be in
up
that
so
space
much.
between them.
Paul actually put a post on, because Paul put some interesting posts on about pregnancy. And there was a post on about a woman who was in major postpartum depression. She hadn't gone on a date since the baby, since 3 months later, and this whole buildup for her of was it going to be okay and how was it going to be, and like a first date. And she said they finally got to the hotel, she and her husband, and it was horrible.
Sure.
They built it up and it was horrible. And then her postpartum depression got worse. And there's so much of a disconnect from that. And then there's the years that you get it back together, and then hormones start changing. Your kids leave, and then that changed the whole dynamic again. Because then it's, wow, my
This
kids are
empty
gone.
nest.
It's empty nesting, this is great. But then you start going through menopause and menopause and all those
Another new
pauses.
normal, another new normal. Another
That's
new
right.
normal.
This is why I say the cure to all of this.
Wilson.
You take your lady or man, you take them dancing to the ballroom dancing.
Well, Fernando's going to teach us all to dance.
And Fernando, we're doing Fuego right now in the other studio, and they're gonna have a whole dance session here. Do you know first dates you go dancing? You either gonna make it or break it. It ain't gonna work or it's gonna work.
And perhaps you need to tell any listeners under 40 what ballroom dancing is. Grandpa.
Salsa, oh, Grandpa.
First of all, let me tell you something. You know,
Ballroom.
I did.
That's the room
I
where we
did.
keep all of the balls.
I
All the balls in one room.
I did ballroom dancing, right? You know what the guy tells me? Oh, you do a lot of street dancing. That's what he called it. I said, really?
I like that. All the balls in one room.
All
That's
of
funny.
them. Just
Yeah.
collect all of
But
them.
now,
put
see,
them in.
now there is a possible downside, and this is
Of course
a
there
segue.
is,
This-
Larry.
This
Tell
is
us.
for you as well. That when you talked about, again, going back to your sort of sex and money, they both kind of reflect the same kind of issue or the same kind of stress. Even going dancing for a lot of guys, right? We know that when
Intimidating?
just especially younger days, going out to a club, going out to a dance club, to generalize, right? Women, for the most part, if they hear a song that they like when they walk in, it's like, let's go, I want to
Right.
dance to that. Guys, no matter how, it could be their favorite song, guys generally will not dance until they've at least had a drink.
There it is.
Have to
stand at
loosen
the
up
edge
a
of the
little
dance
bit.
floor for 15 minutes.
Well, that's what they're going to
watching
stand.
Everybody else
that-
dance.
So you
when
gotta
they're
be
usually
drunk
by
to
themselves.
dance?
No.
A lot of guys.
Right?
Really?
Some do. They need to loosen up, get
Yeah.
that social
Drunk to have
lubricant.
sex.
That wall.
But
That,
here's the point that I want to make. The money, sex, even dancing, these can all represent various degrees or various types of performance anxiety.
true.
Yeah.
And this is probably the one thing more than anything else, for guys especially, that undermines their sexual ability, both desire and performance.
Because I don't think
Making-
women come to it with an ego like men do.
Well,
No.
making money is
It's a different
very
ego.
tied to masculinity and
Right.
machismo. That's why a lot of guys can't stand it if they're married to a woman who's making more money than them.
You know,
It's
I never
masculine.
It's
understood
true.
that. I love a woman that
Well,
makes
me
more money than
too.
me.
Oh my God,
Me
there's nothing
too.
over
I
there for.
encourage
Stay
that.
home and have a woman go out and make tons of money.
I encourage that. Please make more money than me.
Please.
I beg you.
please.
But it changes the dynamics. If
It
you're
does.
the breadwinner,
That's right.
and you and your wife had an understanding, but it's different.
What
'cause you raised the
breadwinner? Bread is to be eaten.
And
You
say-
toast it,
I'm
you eat it.
gluten-free.
Say your spouse stays home and they raise the kids, and that's the agreement that you have, and that's wonderful. And you're making all the money, and then all of a sudden, your wife, the kids are grown, and your wife goes back to work, and now she's independent. She's going through menopause, all these things, right? She's hit her 50s. She's finding herself. She's stepping into her power. She's going back to work. There's no kids in the house. In your career, you're ready to retire, slow down, total shift. You're ready for more intimacy, and she's like, no, I'm going my
Ain't got
career.
time for that.
So,
How do we go to making more money to intimacy?
sex
Well,
and money.
because they're
I mean, in
related.
terms of a woman,
But
make all the money you
a
want.
sense of being needed that a lot of guys have. That sense of I need to be the one to take care of. I need to be needed. This is part of that script.
That's what guys
that we're
believe?
Still
I need to take
Well,
care of
Yeah, I think we'd have to agree that these are more conservative, kind of old school values. I'm sure a lot
Is
more
this
guys today are
from 40 and above, like you said before?
Yes,
So 40 and below, they really don't care?
I think it's
millennials
different.
and Gen
Well, there are
Zers, no,
differences,
they don't
yeah.
care.
They don't
Yeah,
care.
they're interested
They're
more
hoping
in
they meet
themselves.
an old woman that'll take care of them, right?
But they're having much less sex
Right.
than boomers.
That's
Well, they're having
the
what?
point I wanna
Less
make.
sex.
They're having
less
much
sex.
less sex than boomers. And
Well, they're on their phone. What the hell can have sex on your phone? They're probably making love to
Well,
them
actually, that's how a lot of them do have sex.
on their phone, right? They
That's
text
right.
each other.
Yeah, sexting.
The whole world's
Karen,
upside
have we
down.
scared you off
the kids
yet?
got quiet over there.
She keeps agreeing. She keeps saying, yeah. Are you married? My condolences.
My condolences.
I mean, I was divorced
weddings.
twice. It's really funny that you bring this up. I've been divorced now, I don't know, 20 some odd years. And back in the day, I had this philosophy. I asked Michelle, do you want to work or take care of the kids? She stayed home for a week. She couldn't do it. So I said, okay, go have your career. I had to work at night. So I took care of the kids in the day and I had to work at night. I love when Michelle made a lot of money.
A lot less fighting. But you're unique. You're like an enigma. You're just different.
Well,
than-
but just to clarify, you're talking about your ex-wife.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a
Not your
different.
current wife. So it doesn't work so well.
So that may not have worked
tell
out
you-
as well as you're
I'll
kind
tell
of
you-
making
I'll-
it sound.
I'll tell you off the air why. It has nothing to do with any of this, but I'll tell you off the air why.
Sure,
She
sure.
knows why. But the bottom line here is, don't you make it till you break it? I mean, you sort of have to work on your deficiencies, and you have to communicate. And money is always a problem. I don't care how much money you make, you're always going to be $1 short. Always going to be $1 short. Because I know millionaires that don't have enough money. And I know a guy who eats rice and beans every night because all he has is $1.99, and he's always $1 short. It's just ridiculous.
But it's about communications. But the psychology, it always is what's in your mind.
Right.
And you always create it more in your mind than when the situation is actually there.
I love that you segued that because this gentleman only has a theory. What's it called?
Investment theory.
The psychology piece?
As far as the mental wall that people put up when it comes to finances, investments, as soon as I ask, what are you currently invested in? And immediately the wall goes up. So we really have to break down that wall. We have to loosen them up to get to the nitty gritty, the core. So, like you said, he won't dance until he gets his first drink. He wants to loosen up. He wants to get it off of him, whatever that is, that tension, that tenseness. So you definitely have to break down the
The
walls.
same thing with making money, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, see, that could have been a sex therapist talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll leave that to you guys.
Well, but
Break
again,
down the
I
walls and get to the nitty gritty.
That's right. And I think
It's
some of
our job, too.
that similar defensiveness.
Yes.
I think if you come out and just ask a lot of guys, what are you invested in? There's a similarity in that defensiveness to a lot of guys. If you ask them what kind of sex do they have or do they masturbate,
Right.
that same defensiveness kicks up. Because if you're asking them what they're doing, that immediate thought might be, am I doing it right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm
You know,
going
the
to
funny
be
thing is,
judged.
I don't think women do that.
Do what? Masturbate?
I would hope so.
Not in that way.
No, we don't have the walls. And if someone says, "Where's your money invested?" Here it is. What do you do for intimacy? Well, I'd like to sit on the couch and watch TV and maybe hold his hand, but he doesn't want to. I think women are much more transparent about sex and money than men.
I disagree.
Why?
Because I think that the problem is that women aren't transparent about anything. I think what women would let you think. You know, you guys are very clever creatures.
Way
You-
more than us.
You let us think that you have. Here's the answer. I sit on the couch. It isn't that easy. Because I've been sitting on couches all my life, and I never see resolution. Meeting halfway or something like that. Ain't never
Yeah, because
happened.
you say you want to meet halfway, and then you
Right.
move the halfway point.
Well, guys also have to
Right?
understand
You move the bar a little bit.
this ability that women have that we don't. In a lot of ways, we
Hips.
are simpler.
Hips.
Right?
They
In
put
fact,
kids on their hips. You ever
in
seen
ability, ability.
Oh, ability.
Right? And it's ability that I refer to as shades of black. Right? And
You mean gray?
No,
No.
shades of black. And I started that characterization several years ago after making the mistake, and you ladies will know why this is a mistake right away, of looking into a friend of mine's closet and asking her why she had so many pairs of black shoes.
Okay.
And I was resoundingly red. Right? These are black. These are midnight. These are dark charcoal. These are this and these are that. And I started hearing all of these shades of black.
Right.
These are pumps, these are
Contrast.
flats.
Yeah,
So they
every
taught
once in
you
a
the
while,
color
I'll
black?
go into a department store and go through the cosmetic department just to see if you've managed to come up with a new red. Right? Whenever I think there cannot be any more shades of red, there's a new one coming up. So this is an inherent difference between men and women, and this does kind of come into our communication, because when we talk and when we are trying to communicate, we assume that we're always on the same page, especially if we use the same words. But if I say to another guy, I'm mad, or I'm upset, or I'm angry, or I'm pissed off, it means exactly the same thing. But for most women, each one of those things are very different.
Yes.
And each one of those things are nuanced. And I even in a session with a couple one time, and it took me a second to kind of realize that even in repeating what he heard his wife say, she said, when you do that, it gets me upset. And he repeated back, I understand when I do that, you get angry. And she blew up.
Really?
Say, see, he doesn't
she's
listen to
angry.
me. He doesn't
He's
hear what I'm
repeating
saying.
back to her exactly
not
what she
angry.
said.
But
I'm
no,
mad.
she
I'm
said
upset.
Oh,
He
okay.
said
He
angry.
missed
He
it.
said
Okay.
angry.
You have
now,
to
again,
walk-
to guys, for
Right.
the most part, it's the same thing.
So you have to
How many
walk
But
with.
it's a
pairs
shade of black.
shoes does a guy have? One.
One.
In case
One.
he has to go to a wedding or a funeral.
Right.
That's it.
Easy. It's
Black
the guy
shoes and
comes-
brown shoes.
The guy comes home from work and says to his wife, "Oh, I had a lousy day," and she says, "Oh, tell me about it." And he says, "I just did."
Yes.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm being sexist, I understand, but we only kind of use half of our brain.
Or do you want to talk
Women
about a
use it all.
lousy day? You ever come home have a lousy day? You want to go through it again? No.
No,
I know. It was just lousy. Leave it
I need
there.
45 minutes
Right.
to vent.
But I'll
Men
say
are
to you,
solution oriented.
I'll say to you,
Women
I'm
are
upset.
emotion oriented.
Huh?
I'll say to you, I'm upset,
Huh?
or I'm frustrated,
Huh?
or I'm angry. That's all the same thing. You're mad at this. I
He
said,
just
upset
told
is
you
bad.
why. I
was
know what upset
frustrated.
means.
But frustrated is different than upset.
To me, I have a definition. I mean, sometimes I'm afraid to ask why because God only hell knows where I'm going, where you're going with it.
It's true that.
So you know what most fights are about in relationship? I mean, those things, certainly money and sex and stuff like that, but most fights really come down to faulting our partner because they don't think or act more like we do.
We do.
Yeah.
And-
Misunderstanding,
Provocative.
miscommunicating.
Right, exactly. And part of that, and okay, I will be sexist here too because this is something that more women have a tendency to
He's
do.
being sexist. Do not write to me. Write to him.
Right? No, and there are some things that we can say are typically male and typically female. That in a lot of relationships, when somebody says something, right, and I'm just I'll be heterosexist as well. And in a heterosexual relationship, usually if a guy says something to the woman, and she hears it in a way that's different than the way he meant it, when he says, "Oh, no, that's not what I meant," the response should not be, "Well, that's what I heard." And then you just go with that because that's what you heard.
Right.
Because then there's this automatic mistrust. You say, "Well, let me re-explain it," and that's often met with, "No, you're just trying to get out of it now." When a very basic rule in communication is if somebody says something and it is heard in a way that's not the way they intended, they should get the opportunity to re-explain it.
I agree.
And they should get the opportunity to re-explain it until the other person hears it the way they intended.
Teddy, is that
because we are
mansplaining?
always filtering through our own stuff.
That's not mansplaining? That's different?
Relationships are like quicksand. Relationship is like quicksand. The more you try to wiggle out of something, the deeper you're going to put yourself in the soup. Because my belief, my take on that whole
So
conversation,
stop talking.
my conversation, my belief, my understanding of that conversation is, no matter how I explain it, what you feel is the only thing you're going to listen to. So I'm sitting here
Okay.
with my hands on my lap and tell you, okay, then you tell me what it is I said.
Well, I
You
it's-
think for me.
Well,
It's also partially how you say it versus just what you say.
True that?
If I say one thing, you say one thing, we're going to say it really differently, and it's going to be interpreted two totally different ways.
Until you make it so that I'm defending myself, or it feels like I'm defending myself because you misunderstood or you don't understand what it is I meant because I wasn't clear. I'll take the blame. So then I sit there and I
That
go,
happens.
and I sit there and I go, okay, tell me how I think. What was it that I meant to say?
I said we're
Or
gonna
how
take a
about,
break.
because now that's also kind of accusatory.
It is, but it's on purpose.
I know, but how about instead of maybe bringing it into a conflict,
Okay.
how about we are then able to say, and this is something that we should always be doing in our communication anyway, especially if I'm going to react to something
Okay.
that I thought I heard, how about before I react, say, this is what I heard you say. Is that what you meant? We
But
get
that's
simple
what she's telling me or
clarification.
me telling her?
No. That's the person that's hearing it. From your perspective,
do
instead
I
of
say?
that, you tell me what I think. How about, well, tell me what it is that you heard, and
I'd like to go to a commercial break. Is that okay
Taking
with you?
notes.
Yes.
We're going to go to a quick commercial break. You sure? Mansplaining?
Yeah, I'm writing this down. Listen, you can get more of this stuff on Friday nights at 7 o'clock. I'm telling you, it's a great show.
When we come back, let's talk about the financial side of being clear in communication, how this all goes hand in hand. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Does your business Moby Pop? A new way to grow your business. Using a simple keyword, drive customers right to you with just a click. Customers will receive your personalized digital business card within seconds with all your contact information in one place, including a gallery of photos, videos, and clear call to action that drives sales. Promote your products and services, or share a hot new listing with custom event pages and RSVP form, boosting qualified leads. Special offers and promotions are directly sent to your potential customers' phones with text campaigns, increasing foot traffic and creating a loyal following. Let MobiPop drive your marketing campaign. Focus on your business. Let MobiPop focus on growing it.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would just listen? It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have the platform to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 80800. That's CAFE to 80800.
Dr. Lee of Boca Raton Acupuncture Clinic with the PhD in neuroscience. Her practice in acupuncture helps hormone balancing, total relaxation, diabetes, and inflammation. For additional questions or to schedule a free consultation, call Boca Raton Acupuncture Clinic at 617-817-1910. Acupuncture and Chinese herbs are very effective in treating many ailments and diseases and have been used for thousands of years in China. Call today for your free consultation at 617-817-1910.
As we age, our stem cells decline in their ability to heal our bodies. Imagine a patch that could activate your stem cells and reset them to a younger, healthier state. No supplements, nutrients, or drugs enter your body. Activate your stem cells with this patented phototherapy. Benefits include the support of wound healing, rapid pain relief, increased energy, better sleep, reduced stress, sharper mental focus, and an overall feeling of youthful vitality. When you're at your best, you experience the world differently. Contact us at 561-929-1627. For a free consultation to help you feel your best, activate your own stem cells with this affordable patented phototherapy. Call today, 561-929-1627.
And we're back at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. We're switching sets, and as you see, Wilson is offset at the moment, but that's okay. He's at the other studio bringing in Sandra Torres, who was also a 12 o'clock guest that he hijacked over to Fuego. How did that go?
It was awesome. I love him. I love his energy. I love his fire, and it was great.
Fernando's great, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's the movie The Intern. So he's the intern, he's Robert De Niro, and I'm Anne Hathaway. So in my mind, we're like doing the whole intern movie over here.
That's funny.
Is that hilarious?
That is.
Like he's made his money, he's done his thing, and this is his passion, and now he's interning with us.
Yes.
Which is the funniest thing ever.
It's awesome.
But he's awesome.
great.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring you into this conversation because we were talking about how men can't be intimate without intercourse.
That's an awesome conversation.
Well, we weren't really talking about that.
Let me phrase that. They can, they choose not to be.
No, we were talking about the misunderstanding of non-sexual intimate touch in most American men, and a lot of American women for that matter. But like if a couple's sitting together and a woman wants to reach out and stroke her husband, he gets excited and thinks it's sexy time.
Exactly.
So she'll stop touching after a while.
Yes.
Perfect conversation, right?
Yes.
But you're American, but you're also Latina.
Yeah.
He's Hispanic.
Yeah.
Different in cultures or no?
No, that same thing happens.
So that's the American culture. If you were in Puerto Rico or Colombia, probably not so much. Or yes, still
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
So it's not the American culture. It's just people as a whole as we age and things change.
I mean, there's this pervasive, again, going back to this idea of a script, this pervasive script that, you know, this is how it's supposed to be. And I think a lot of Western cultures in general really come from the same place with it. And it's not how we actually operate. It's just doing what we think we're supposed to do. You got to remember, a lot of cultures, Puerto Rican cultures, many other Hispanic cultures as well, especially, are still rooted in a lot of this European, often a religious-based kind of thing that still tends to look at sex as something you do for procreation. not something
Or
we
an
just have for
obligation.
pleasure. Or, well, that's part of the obligation.
Part of the marital duties.
Yeah, but it's still, I think Judaism is the only religion that does, even in the context of marriage, have that celebration of the pleasure and the intimacy that sex can
For
bring.
women.
Most other religions, and I think
Emphasize that for
women, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. For most other religions, and I think almost all of Christianity, kind of sees sex as about reproduction. Women are vessels, and it's really the man who gets the pleasure.
Well, we talked about that in the beginning. I didn't want to go into the conversation without having a bookend with me on the other female point of view.
Sure.
It's saying that if men don't orgasm, it's not, they feel like, it didn't work, there's something wrong with me. There are many times I think that women don't,
Right.
and they don't say, oh, honey, you didn't please me. You go along with it and
Because-
just keep going.
Right, and I think Ricky was saying before that we've developed this double standard where if men don't achieve orgasm, it's a crisis, and
Every
with
time.
women, it's an expectation that women will not every time.
Or at least a pass. It's something that guys don't have to take personally.
They go, it's all right.
Right.
You want to try it now?
Women,
It's all right
you
next
know,
time.
Women are like that.
You're very quiet.
Oh, I have a lot to say.
Don't you think women invariably take it personally?
I don't know. I think that, and for that, I mean, it's very diverse. I think it matters into how do you want your relationship to work, right? If men have come to the understanding that, listen, every time she touches me, doesn't mean I'm initiating, because she will eventually stop doing those loving things that men love, appreciate, and naked sense. So the moment that he recognizes, listen, that's not the way to get what I want. Because ultimately, what women need more than sex is that personal connection without sex. We need to have that before we can really wholly give ourselves sexually to somebody, because that shows true, I think, unity. When someone can respect you as a human being that needs affection, because we all need that affection. So once it's okay, if I can't give him affection because it's going to say I'm now obligated to sex, doesn't that start to deteriorate the relationship a bit?
Sure.
So I think if a man recognizes that and he's like, he knows how to play the cards, right? He's got to know how to play his cards, but he can't always be self-serving. And this is what culturally I've been taught, or this is how it should be, because there's going to be a divorce at some point, or there's going to be some deteriorating of affection.
You gotta
and
hear
that
this.
is what you don't want to lose.
But then we change the game.
Gotta hear this.
We change it up as we get older, as women, and our powers change and our wants change. And you guys are still the same. You're still like, all right, this is what we want, this is what we need, this is what we have to have. But no, wait, we need to talk. We don't need to talk. You talk too much, you eat too loud. Everything is changing. Well, tell me what you think I said.
This is gonna be my new saying.
Mantra.
Wilson.
My new mantra. Well, tell me what you think I said. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tattoo it on my forehead.
We can scan it like a Moby Pop. Tell me what you think I said. That should be what goes across our scroller now on the bottom.
I want to get one of those
a ticker tape.
ticker tape things, and I want to put that up there. And I want to put that because I'm never gonna win this argument.
It's not an argument. It's a conversation.
I just heard Sandra, and I don't know what she said.
No,
but I was over there. My
you
ears
said.
were ringing, and I talking to Steve. I said,
What do
Steve,
you
what's
think
wrong?
she said?
Oh.
Tell me what you think I said.
Well, tell me what you think I said.
I want to know. I want to know now.
Well, how did you feel about the conversation? How did it
No,
end?
I think that it's all about coming to mutual ground, understanding each other.
Mutual ground, like the burning bush.
You have, if you are a self-aware man, you have to know that. Listen, when I do this thing, it leads to this. Or this thing either leads to this, or an argument, or discussion, or something that no one's happy at the end of the day. You have to be able to respect your partner in a way that says, listen, she needs this, I need this, and have either that conversation, but a partnership should have that awareness. Like, I know every single time I do I know what's going to come out of every move. I think women can call it.
I'm sitting here for 2 minutes and already it's gone south. Women can call it. She knows.
Women could call it.
You picked up on our conversation earlier and you weren't even here. It's just perfect, right? This whole Calypso standard, man smart, women smarter. Now, on Sex Talk with the Siegel Brothers, Friday nights at 7 o'clock, it's two middle-aged dudes talking about sex, and sometimes our male listeners accuse us of kind of male bashing and being too ultra-feminist. I think it's just acceptance.
I think you guys are very
that
clever.
We're outgunned, right? And we try.
So
and
you're
win
giving
arguments.
up?
No. I think men would do better to sometimes think like women, or think like, what would she want? What would she expect from me in this situation?
Steve-o.
And not try and win every argument because we're outgunned.
Right.
Steve was probably the smoothest guy I know that does that. But I'm going to tell you, at the end of the day, when you do that, they're still going to find something wrong. There's still going to be something wrong.
Yeah.
And I know, you're going to say, no, Freddie, that isn't true.
No, it's just you, Freddie.
Yeah.
It isn't. And it's me. And I look around the room and I laugh. And I'm going to remember this conversation because it never changes. It's never enough give. Somebody's got to take and somebody's got to give. That's the way a relationship works.
At
But
any
not in a
given
power-
time.
not in a power
Right, not in a
struggle.
power way, in a sharing
There
way.
shouldn't be a power
She
struggle.
spoke for 2 minutes. She went from, I know what's going to happen. Well, if you know what's going to happen, then why do something? Because you know what's going to happen. Let's not do it.
But now
That's the other
again,
side of it.
in
You
all
don't
in all
bother.
fairness, I mean, even something like that, we have to kind of dial back a little bit as well, because nobody has a crystal ball. There are times where maybe as guys we do things more often than we think we do. We may be a little bit more predictable than we would like to admit. And
Yeah.
then maybe there's just that sense of, I have seen this plenty of times before. Yeah, I know how this is going to turn out. And maybe that's sort of some kind of need to change things up a bit. But I think one of the biggest problems, going back to how we are fighting about so many different things, is that we do process information differently. In general, men and women do not think about things the same way. And in a very simplistic way, you can say that women are more process-oriented, men are more product-oriented. So the best advice for men, Freddie, if you're listening to a woman telling you something, shut up.
Yes.
That's the best advice.
I'm not going to say a word.
Shut up.
That's right.
And
I'm not
just
saying another word
listen.
ever again for the rest of
Okay.
my
But
life.
he's right.
Because
Just
this is
stop
a male
talking.
thing, right? The male thing is, well, why don't you do this, do this, do this? That's the product-oriented, looking for the solution, as opposed to allowing ourselves to be in a process. So when you say maybe think more like women, or maybe women think more
And
like men,
women-
it's understanding that we have these different styles. And as a man, if a woman is talking to me, I know I just need to listen.
Yes.
If I'm talking with another guy, what about this? Can you think about that? You do that.
Yeah, even though we do appreciate that as well, we want that conversation. But
when
when
asked.
it comes to this conversation, I think it's important to listen to your partner. So it's really, if it's going to stir in you a reaction that's not a pleasant, positive one, then yes, dial back and just listen, because you have to assume that the person that you're partnered with is coming from the best of intentions and is speaking from the heart. If you don't respect that person enough to say, I need to listen to what this person has to say because I care enough about them, whatever comes out of their mouth, whether I like it or not, I can make a decision afterwards. But you have to respect your partner in a way that says
Well, hold
they're
on,
trying to tell
Sandra.
me
I got
something.
a question for you.
Yeah.
If you give an opinion, and I hear it for the first time, and you give the same opinion the second through the 20th time, what do you think is going to happen? I'm going to sit here and I'm going to listen, and I'm listening for 20, 40 times. You think eventually I'm going to say, you know something, honey, shut the F up because I heard you the first 20 times.
Get out of my head. That's what I'm thinking.
See, the problem is always about delivery, but when you hear the same thing over and over 20 times, it becomes just the opposite.
I heard you the first
We're
time.
not having a conversation anymore.
Yes.
You just beat me into a
Well,
pulp.
that's, you know what?
Did you hear what I said?
In my
Yeah.
experience, you know what kills relationships more than anything else?
Tell me, Doc.
Is when couples stop acting like lovers and turn into each other's parents.
It's about 2 minutes
And
into a
that
relationship.
Kills the sexy every time.
It's not when a
asking
relationship
for something 20
starts.
times is nagging, and lovers don't nag. Angry, critical parents do. The same thing with judgment. The same thing with criticism. Those are the things that angry parents.
Well, then let me give you another piece to this puzzle. When you meet somebody who's semi-intelligent, has been in the business world a little bit longer and deals with the element, not talking about all this stuff that comes, and you tell somebody something, don't you think they have enough intelligence to understand what it is you're saying?
Or if not, ask for clarification.
Forget about ask. Guys don't ask. We
But
don't
is
even
it a
ask for
matter of
directions.
intelligence, or is it a matter that we hear through these filters that we have, which is our mood, our understanding, our expectations, all of that stuff?
Your ego.
So the most intelligent people can misunderstand the simplest things.
The most intelligent
And it's
people
not a
can
man versus
misunderstand.
woman thing.
No.
You know, every relationship is different, and everybody has different life experiences that they're bringing to the table. So you are a
Are you
filter.
easy to live with?
Yes. I'm very easygoing. Like, nothing bothers me.
Teddy, are you easy to live with? Are you easy to live with, new girl? Yeah? Simple? Are you easy to live with?
Yes, if you understand me.
Not
I
one
get
of them
you,
except
Dawn.
Teddy. Only
I have a
Teddy.
qualifier.
Only Teddy was the only honest person in the room. But this is what I'm talking
I'm
about.
easy to live
Yeah,
with.
but Freddie,
I
are
just
you?
need peace and quiet.
No!
Of course not.
But I'm proud of that.
Nobody's easy to live
But
with.
that's the correct answer,
But
Doc.
I'm easy.
Is there a correct answer?
Yes. What do you mean you're easy?
I'm easy to deal with if you understand me.
Are you insane?
I've heard that about her, by
Well,
the way. I've
if-
heard she is easy, but she's not cheap.
She's the
That's her too.
most complicated woman on the planet, but I'm easy to get along with. No, the answer is nobody's
But
easy.
sometimes people just want peace and quiet. When you
Yes.
get home from a day and both spouses are working, you just want to sit and be. It's not a reflection of I don't want to talk to you.
Yes.
I just need some quiet.
Yeah,
and that's where I think the other side of the
Okay.
coin is.
Right.
I don't need the violin.
And you know, if we broaden that out even a little bit more, just a general thing, and I usually ask people to ask themselves this before they start attacking or criticizing or creating the argument. That so every once in a while we need to ask ourselves in that moment, holding back to want to criticize or attack or correct, ask ourselves which is more important right now, being right or making this work.
Ooh, Dad.
I like
Right?
that.
Because
You know, you've grown up to be a father.
I say that based on actually having. I was very unprofessional with this guy when this came about. It was one of those things where he could not hold himself back. He always had to prove that he was right. He always had to win the argument. And when he came back the following week, alone, telling me that
Over and
his
over
wife
again.
left him for that,
Over and over.
I couldn't help myself. I had to congratulate him.
Doc,
You won.
He
Congratulations.
wanted to be
Victory.
alone. Now, I'm going to play a little doodly here. Because, doodly, whatever, doodly dub, right?
Oh, it's a
Because
dookie.
I'm going to.
So Freddie's
I'm
going to be
play a
diddling
little
on the radio.
music for you.
Yes.
Because the bottom line here, Dawn, is that you're not supposed to be easy to live with. See, the problem is that when you start thinking you are, is when you start your problems.
Why?
It says there's this gentleman. He wanted to be alone. You know, if you can take
I
an
didn't say I
egg.
want to be alone. Sometimes
Hold
I
on,
just
this
want
gentleman. I said
No,
the gentleman.
he didn't want to be alone.
He didn't think he did.
He just
was
needed to be
telling
right.
you because he wanted you to think, oh, Peter's sorry for me. If you take an egg and you put it in your hand, can you hold that egg for 100 years?
No.
That's what a relationship is like. And if you don't think that egg is ever going to crack or break, and you got to put Humpty
He
Dumpty
says
back
such a way with
together.
words, doesn't
But
he?
that's the truth of it. If somebody says to you, you easy to live with, the correct answer is no.
know
I
you
think
have
the message really ultimately, like, people within themselves to say to them, these are my standards, this is really all I want. The question is, in a relationship, do you have those conversations? Do you say, listen, at the very end of
there
the
you
day, what is it that you need to be happy in life? And what do you need from me? I don't think those conversations are existing in
No.
homes today. So when it comes to, are you easy to live with? Yes, it's very easy for a woman to say, yeah, I'm easy to live with, because at the end of the day, this is who I am. This picture that maybe is probably unexplainable for some women. They can't really get what that is out. But they know within themselves, really, at the end of the day, these are my basic needs. And if these are met, I'm happy, go lucky. So are we always easy to live with? No. Why? Because we are human and we have opinions. And sometimes our different people come together with different opinions that don't get along. They're completely opposing.
Don't you love this conversation?
I
We're
love
gonna continue.
Sandra. You know why I love Sandra? Because no matter what the conversation is, she goes right into
That's
it.
why I love her.
And she's
I
a
love
strong
that she's
woman.
here.
Mhm.
Yes.
And not a lot of women would sit here, especially with you guys
She's
a little
strong,
bit
but
intimate.
she's passionate and she's
And she'll
compassionate.
put you in your spot. I'm gonna tell you something.
But she's compassionate with
And
how
if she has a
says it.
glass of wine, she put you in the deepest spot.
Sandra, Jen, and I had this whole conversation going last Wednesday at the end of the day. Then we stayed and cleaned up, and the conversation continues. Tell everyone where we can find you and United Latinas.
You can follow us on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram at the United Latinas. You could search it, United Latinas Boca, will come up. UnitedLatinas.com, or text me 908-367-0794. And we
Yeah.
have our next event, December 12th, next week.
Yes,
Why
and
not?
I want you to bring the ladies. How was Fuego?
It was awesome. I love
Isn't
it.
it awesome?
I love it. I love it.
I want you to bring the ladies because
I
now we're
will.
going to do it in Spanish.
Yep.
And then we'll bring them from Studio B to Studio A and Studio A to the parking lot. And if Steve has his way, wait till he's going to bring on
Put
the
some
other side of
freestyle
that
music
wall.
on.
And
something.
it's still Sex Talk with the Siegel Brothers? So keep
Sex
the
Talk
same
with the
name?
Siegel Brothers. Yep, still
Except it's 7.
Facebook Live.
Friday nights.
Starting this Friday night, we will be Friday nights at 7 p.m.
And we are going to have a different studio look at WNN. I got the keys yesterday. We're going to change the look. And we're going to invite some people into studio.
Excellent.
So that if you're having a little limpy problem, come and see the doctor.
A little limpy problem.
Yeah, limp on in.
Tune in to Sex Talk with the Siegel Brothers on Friday night at 7 o'clock on
orthopedist now.
WWNN, now with 3 FMs and 1 AM. And then we
Boom.
continue on Saturday nights from 8 to 10.
That's right. We keep going and rolling.
Going to switch over. We got Bobby Jackson from the Custom Fitness Institute in the house and a new guest on Destination Weddings. Probably perfect for you,
Yes,
Steve,
he's
as
there.
well.
Steve was going to be on the set too.
Steve was in the house, so you know what? His phone line is open. He's ready to book some gigs.
He's going to start taking appointments.
Stay tuned and we'll be right back. If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would just listen? It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions. A voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have the platform to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 80800. That's CAFE to 80800.
Sexy, seductive, and beautiful. Looking for a professional and talented photographer? Danielle Boujon specializes in capturing flirtatious and tasteful images for yourself or your partner. Located in South Florida, Danielle really knows how to bring out your inner beauty on a shoot. Visit her website at www.daniellebuljan.com or call her at 561-305-2241 to capture your most desirable moments.
Sometimes you need to shake things up a bit, to be a little adventurous, to make your meals pop. Don Pablo Coffee Growers and Roasters have that special ingredient. That little bit of adventure in a bottle to take your dinner to the next level. So take a leap and try one of Don Pablo's fresh roasted specialty coffee meat rubs on your beef, chicken, or pork. You'll never go back to boring again. Go ahead, rub it on your meat.
Does your business Moby Pop? A new way to grow your business. Using a simple keyword, drive customers right to you with just a click. Customers will receive your personalized digital business card within seconds with all your contact information in one place, including a gallery of photos, videos, and clear call to action that drives sales. Promote your products and services, or share a hot new listing with custom event pages and RSVP form, boosting qualified leads. Special offers and promotions are directly sent to your potential customers' phones with text campaigns, increasing foot traffic and creating a loyal following. Let MobiPop drive your marketing campaign. Focus on your business. Let MobiPop focus on growing it.
we're back.
I don't know how we do what we do. Freddie's always eating on set. Bobby Jackson is not eating. Welcome back to the Brooklyn Cafe TV. Wow, what a Tuesday. I like the way we scripted that show because I totally knew the Siegel brothers were coming.
You knew it.
Not.
I didn't know Sandra was coming. Not.
I knew Sandra was, but I love the conversation we had because Sandra and Jen G and I were having this whole conversation after our party last Wednesday. And it went so late that when Larry and Ricky came, it was a great bridge over to bring Sandra in, but you kept her in Fuego for so long. I heard Fuego was a success.
How was it?
Fuego host? I think that was fantastic.
Fantastic, we love it.
Cortez, how'd you like Fuego?
It was nerve-wracking, but I made it through.
Two excellent guests.
You gotta love Cortez and David. They come at 10 o'clock. He's still here. They've been through 2 shows, a few meetings, a few empanadas. Is this really a show that we get to do? We've got new producers. Taryn was leaving and she's still here now. She's running the board.
We do a little bit of everything.
You gotta love what goes on in this studio. We do a little bit of everything. So welcome back to the Brooklyn Cafe. We're running 2 sets right here in our new studio. We're at 2400 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard. So great. So amazing places. I'm going to keep talking while you're eating, so don't worry. We're all good. We're working on our phone lines. I think Fuego is a new thing. We've done 2 back-to-back shows. Fernando and Sandra, I think, just looking at them, I think they're perfect dynamic to do this.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
I think
She's
it's
saying,
fantastic.
I've been here waiting for you.
Where you been all my life? It's the open communication. The Siegel brothers are hilarious. I love that you finally came in because I needed another female to have this conversation with me to do this. I can see why. Can you understand why?
Why? Because there's a lot of men in here.
Wait, where's your note? This is for, I'm going to ask Steve-O. See, here's the difference. So you got Bobby Jackson, and he's young and married. C, Taryn's young, married. Teddy young, in a relationship. We're all old. So now you hang it up. Well, tell me, what do you think I said? That's Steve-O. You know, we're all married, kids, different stage of life, then they're still in these romantic relationships in their 20s. Things change in your 50s, no?
Thank you very much. This is what they told me not to talk, just to hold this up.
Well, tell me what you think I said.
Because that's the story of my life.
And there you have it.
Listen, this is an OG.
I know.
First guy that sponsored on the show was this gentleman here. Opened up his business, 4 years ago?
Up at iHeart.
Coming up on 3 now.
Huh?
He's been with us through all of our studios.
I know. It gets more exciting every time right here. This is amazing.
And this was the first remote we did, or the second? Around there?
Yes, the Custom Fitness Institute. Bobby Jackson, he was with us at iHeart when we first started. Then he went to the gallery with us as we moved along. And now here he is bringing guests, telling me I've got this great guest to bring and at our new
It's been long
studio.
overdue. I got a good one for us today. This is awesome.
I am so excited. Destination weddings. I know. You can't get married again. But
Yes, he can.
Yes, you can.
Vow renewal.
oh, look at that. You can do vow. Tell me what you think I said.
These empanadillas, brother, are delicious.
Did you make them?
Manuel,
They're absolutely delicious.
help Dylan and Glenn move everything that we need out of there into the bags.
Neatly. Because we're
Neatly.
going on remote tomorrow and
Yes.
Thursday, so
Where
we've
we
got a lot
going?
going on. Tomorrow we're going to be at Dignity Memorial in Lake Worth. I spoke to them today. We're talking about celebration of life and different options for pre-need of everyone can have their pre-needs met. And then Thursday we're going to be in Delray at the Delray Arts Garage. So we got a lot going
Arts
on.
Garage. And we going to have singers there?
I don't know who they're bringing.
Us. Are we
No.
bringing singers?
No.
We're supposed to.
No. Yes. Maybe.
We're bringing that one lady.
Tell me what you think I said. No. But yes, bring whoever you like, Freddie. We'll make it all work.
That's the first time I ever heard no about bringing singers.
You can bring a singer, whatever you want to do.
Anyway.
Bring whatever you want to do. Bobby, what is going on at Custom Fitness Institute?
Yeah, we're just winding down the year right here. Everybody's staying in shape for the holidays. And,
Well, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, that's a tough part.
You still have those fighters?
Yeah. We got one event happening this Saturday down in Fort Lauderdale, and then pretty much that'll wrap out the season for us, and then we'll see what the schedule looks like.
You have any champions still in your corral?
Yeah, we got Nikita. He's done with the fighting for 19, and we'll just see what 2020 schedule is looking like. We should be heading back down to Vegas within the first couple months. So.
And how's Miranda doing?
The champ going. She's doing good. She's doing really good. So I'm not sure when her next fight's going to be, but she's been, she's training with another group out of Coconut Creek now, and so everybody's just continuing on the path. So.
And how's your wife?
Wife is doing great.
I heard you guys are expecting your first child.
We absolutely are not.
I love this topic. Can we keep going here?
Yeah, she's still expecting a dog. So that's the battle right now. So we're starting with
Be very careful.
You're getting one for Christmas.
Yeah, right.
Be very careful,
He's
my
not
friend.
any help. So
I have a feeling she will be with child before the end of the year.
wow. That's how many weeks? Yeah, wow. That's
You got
Could
about
be any
4.
day now.
that's okay.
I'm going to be a grandfather again.
Okay.
Freddie's going to have a second child.
Wow, congratulations.
Oh, congrats.
Kudos.
Now don't take me down with you. Okay.
They come in threes.
Grandpa, I'm good
They come in
enough
threes.
Wait, now you got 3.
So
One,
Freddie,
two, and I'm
I've
filling
seen
the gap
2,
right there for
and
you.
the third one is yet to
All
be
right.
That'd
announced.
be
All
very
right, we'll see.
exciting, though.
But it's good to have. And tell us a little bit about your friend that you brought here.
Yeah, Will Medina right here, the man. Destination wedding specialist. Our backstory is he was actually one of my first training clients at the very first gym I worked at in Fort Lauderdale.
Yes, I
When
used to
first
work out.
moved.
Doesn't show now, but I used to work out.
So he had just moved down from Wisconsin, which I
Yes.
wasn't going to hold against him being a Minnesotan. But yeah, we just met him through fitness, and just really became really good friends. Of course, spending a ton of time with C as well, so that's it. He's just killing it in the destination weddings, the honeymoons, and really just that kind of travel agent extraordinaire there. So
How'd you get involved doing destination weddings?
At first I got involved 10 years ago when I started my travel business. I was working at a call center in Wisconsin, and I was born in the Dominican Republic, so everyone was asking me where to go to stay at a resort. And I was just helping out friends, and a coworker one day said, you should open your own travel agency. And I'm like, oh, that was actually my dream as a kid. So I started as, at the time, it was a home-based travel agent, kind of like on the side gig. And one of my first trips was a group that I put together to take to my homeland. And we went, it was like 25 people from Wisconsin. We had a blast. And one of the guys, they fell in love with the island so much. And they got engaged and they got married the next year. By default, I was a travel agent, so I planned the first one. And then from there, just like things kept evolving, and I did, 1 or 2 a year. And by year 3, I want to say it was like, I really like this thing. So I just went full out, all out for
How long you been
destination
doing
weddings. 10 years as of August.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
10 years.
Yep.
What are
You're
some
like
of
this guy,
Yeah,
Mr. DJ over here, what, 24
Yeah, we
years?
were just telling 27 years. Yeah.
Wow. He beats me.
Well, he's one of the biggest in South Florida. If not, now you're all over the place too, right?
Performing in the Kravitz Center on Friday.
Are you really?
Nice.
Congratulations.
And you did the Trump thing at the BB&T?
Yeah.
How was that? Good?
That's good. A little crazy.